tonight, a property tax hike. How St. Louis County business owners are handling a property tax hike they say was unexpected.
Plus, a push to open. Some Minnesota lawmakers are calling on the governor to let more businesses open their doors.
And the Boundary Waters is set to open tomorrow, but if you had hoped to stay overnight, well, you'll have to change your plans.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Kristen Baki.
And I'm Anthony Matt. Thanks for joining us. Some St. Louis County businesses are scrambling as many just learned their property taxes have skyrocketed.
Some say the timing couldn't be worse as they have less than 2 weeks to come up with the money. CBS3's Leanne Valdez explains.
Well, everybody's going to lose. Rarely is anybody going to win on this transaction.
Owner of Kleiman Realty, Joe Kleiman, says he's struggling with St. Louis County's newly updated property values.
Nonsense. I tell them it's silly.
Kleiman owns many properties around the area. One in particular, Harbor City International School in downtown Duluth. He says he recently learned the value of that property went up $750,000 based on this year's assessment, meaning a big increase in his property taxes.
That's not much, is it?
Kleiman says his tenants won't have to pay a cent because of their agreement lease. Instead, he'll have to take care of it.
The people are struggling now to pay whatever they have, so any increases, the property owner is going to eat that.
County officials say increases like those are because many properties in the areas like downtown Duluth haven't been appraised for more than 10 years.
So with market conditions being quite different than they were 10 years ago, and really taking a look at sales that have happened that drive market conditions or property value. One of the reasons for the large property increases.
But the county wants to remind people these new values are based on a January 2nd, 2020 evaluation before the pandemic really hit our region.
And anything that happens in the market because of the all the shutdowns, the stay-at-home orders, the economy going down, anything that is reflected in that will be reflected in our 2021 assessment. So we've got a whole year to see what happens here. We'll reflect those values in 2021.
But Kleiman says property owners need help now, and the county should take into consideration the current state of the economy.
What they should do is take a freeze, leave all values where they are for at least the remainder of the year and see what develops, because everybody is struggling to make ends meet.
The Greater Downtown Council is also advocating for local businesses, saying the timing is a big concern, with many businesses closed for weeks and property tax payments due May 15th. They're advising property owners to reach out to their county assessor.
An estimated 30,000 Minnesotans are back to work today. This comes after Governor Tim Walz relaxed some stay-at-home order restrictions last week. Part of Walz's order means each business had to create a plan for curbside operations and share how they plan to safely reopen. The restrictions ask for online payments to be used in any possible scenario. When picking up items, employees and customers are asked to wear protective gear such as masks. Customers are also asked not to leave their vehicles. While salons are not allowed to cut hair, they are allowed to sell product curbside.
It's been hard not to be able to be at work, not to be able to do what you love to do, not to be able to just be here with your friends and people you've had relationships with and take care of clients and make them beautiful and happy.
As for when salons can cut hair again, that date is still up in the air. Right now, Governor Walz's stay-at-home order lasts until May 18th.
Duluth's Miller Hill Mall is still closed, but some businesses are now offering curbside pickup. You can see the full list on your screen there. Mall officials expect that list to grow. There will soon be a designated curbside pickup location near Applebee's. They plan to install signs tomorrow.
Going back to work during the ongoing pandemic comes with many questions, both for business owners and their employees. Duluth's Workforce Development Center has answers to many frequently asked questions in a new document they're sharing with the community. We have a link to it on our website, cbs3duluth.com.
Let's check in with Dave now for a quick look at the weather. Dave, sounds pretty windy out there.
Yeah, the wind has picked up, and it's a wind from the east, and so that means cooler by the lake, and it was cooler by the lake by the bucketful today, the bucketful of ice. Some lakeside towns only topped out in the 30s, others were in the 40s, but farther inland it was in the 50s, which is at least closer to normal for this time of year. Well, because of the easterly wind, we do have a low pressure system coming in, or vice versa, actually. The easterly wind is because of the low that's approaching our region. Let's take a look at the picture of the upper Midwest here. here. And with the low sliding our way out of the Dakotas, it's creating an easterly wind, pulling that cool air off the lake. And that means clouds will be increasing tonight. And once they increase tomorrow, we get 20 to 40% chances of rain coming around. Only 40% chance at best because that easterly wind is trying to deflect that westerly low pressure system. So splitting the proverbial distance, we get this day planner for Tuesday, cloudy sky, 20 to 40% chance for rain showers, but high temps only near 48 degrees. That's much cooler than normal. How long will this last? For a while, frankly, and I'll show you how long with the 7-day forecast in a few more minutes.
All right, thanks, Dave. New at 6, the BWCA reopens tomorrow for daytime use. It will remain closed to overnight campers, though, through May 17th, aligning with Minnesota's stay-at-home order. If you have a reservation to stay in the area overnight, you will get a full refund. BWCA reps say this change allows for local recreation while discouraging people from traveling. To apply for day use permits and learn more about other restrictions, head to our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
Wisconsin's governor wants his state to be one of the nation's top performers when it comes to COVID-19 testing per capita. Governor Tony Evers announced his plan to do that today. It involves conducting 85,000 COVID-19 tests per week. State health experts say they plan to test all people associated with the state's hotspots, provide free testing to nursing homes, and increase drive-through testing. Evers says this will help Wisconsin reach 4 key aspects of its Badger Bounce Back plan, which dictates when certain businesses can reopen. There are 2 drive-through testing options in our region this week in Ashland and Solon Springs. We have the details on both on our website, CBS3Duluth.com.
A new executive order means Minnesotans struggling to make ends meet won't have COVID-19 assistance payments intercepted by debt collectors. Governor Tim Walz signed the order today. It allows Minnesotans to use their assistance payments for things like food and housing rather than losing them to wage garnishment. Walz says the order does not apply to spouse or child support payments. He says he worked with financial institutions to make sure the process was fair.
This is not to say that these debts were not legitimate debts, but what it's saying is now is not the time to collect from the most vulnerable, and this should hopefully bring some relief.
The executive order will be effective when approved by the Minnesota Executive Council. Meanwhile, Republicans in Minnesota are putting the pressure on Governor Walz to allow businesses to reopen. Today, Senate Republicans called Democratic Governor Tim Walz to move faster toward allowing more businesses to reopen, saying many of them already have detailed plans for operating safely amid the COVID-19 pandemic. Senate Majority Leader Paul Gazelka encouraged Walz to lay out a clear long-range plan so that businesses can know what to expect and plan for when they can reopen. Senate Republicans made the call on a day when officials said the number of Minnesotans hospitalized in intensive care with COVID-19 has jumped for 3 straight days to the highest levels yet.
One of Minnesota's largest pork processing plants will reopen this week. At least 350 workers at the JBS plant in Worthington have tested positive for COVID-19. Wednesday's reopening is part of President Donald Trump's executive order mandating meat processing plants stay open during the pandemic. The president of the plant's union says the facility will have new safety precautions, including limiting contact between employees and more disinfecting throughout the building.
The Diocese of Duluth announced that it has extended its mass suspension again. With Minnesota's stay-at-home order still in place, public mass will be suspended through May 18th. Masses and other public gatherings were originally suspended through May 4th. Priests will still celebrate Mass without a congregation. They'll also conduct confession and pastoral care of the sick. Diocese of Duluth leaders say funerals and weddings are permitted, but with major restrictions.
One person is dead and another is recovering from gunshot wounds in Beltrami County. Deputies responded to a report of gunshots and a fire early Sunday morning about 10 miles west of Bemidji. Authorities say the house was engulfed when first responders arrived. They found a woman's body once the fire was extinguished. Authorities are awaiting autopsy results. Meanwhile, a man with gunshot wounds was found in an adjacent building and taken to a Bemidji hospital. No word on his condition tonight or what led to either incident. Authorities are investigating.
A Duluth woman died when she was thrown from an ATV in Cook. Authorities responded to Randa Road just before 9:30 last night. They found Pamela Benson lying next to the ATV she was riding, which had rolled several times. The 53-year-old died at the scene. Authorities are waiting to release more information until family is notified. The crash is under investigation.
Most of Duluth's natural surface trails are back open after bad weather. City leaders are reminding you to continue avoiding any wet or muddy trails. You can find a list of which trails are open on our website.
Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, despite a rough start to the tourism industry this year, Wisconsin is reporting a decade of growth overall.
Plus, Dave will have a look at your extended weather forecast right after the break.
Live, local, CBS 3 News at 6 with Kristen Vaki, Anthony Matt, Kelly Hinson, and weather with meteorologist Dave Anderson on Live, local, CBS 3.
The nursing program at Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is really challenging, but it has to be. It's approved by the Board of Nursing. And graduates here have been successfully passing the state board exam. They give you real-world experience with healthcare institutions across the community. I'm really glad I chose Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College.
Angie's Closet is here to help you refresh your spring wardrobe. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram to find new outfits posted daily. Once you fall in love with the perfect style, comment on the post or direct message us to set up curbside pickup or shipping. Thanks for shopping local with Angie's Closet.
I'm Trisha Zunker, and I approve this message.
Trisha Zunker, a community leader we can trust to put politics aside and deliver on healthcare and jobs when we need it most. Not Tom Tiffany. He opposed the law that protects patients with pre-existing conditions who are most at risk for COVID-19. And he spoke against the bipartisan bill signed by President Trump to help small businesses hit hard by the pandemic. Tom Tiffany. Bad for our health and economy.
I don't know about you, but I'm ready for spring to arrive. I just purchased my unlimited monthly pass from Arrowhead Transit. And I can bring my kids on the bus with me too, for free. We go to the playground. Yay! Or the park. Or the beach.
Mama, the bus is here.
Take the bus. The Arrowhead Transit Bus.
If you're over mac and cheese and PB&Js, have we got good news for you? Right now, get Pizza Hut's best delivery deal. Large pizzas with up to 3 toppings for just $9.99. Available for carryout or contactless delivery at pizzahut.com.
On behalf of the over 400,000 accredited businesses that support our services across North America, BBB salutes those individuals who cannot shelter in place. Many remain on the front lines, delivering essential services, often at great risk and sacrifice, to enrich or save lives in this time of desperate need. Thank you. Eventually, the all clear will sound, and we will begin returning to normal. Hopefully, we will never forget how much we missed our normal while it was away.
I chose a career that isn't easy, it's dangerous, and it's hard. Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College has set me up with everything I need to succeed. Through challenging classes, longer defensive tactics training, and instructors who work in the industry, Fond du Lac Tribal and Community College is setting me up for success.
Vaping has been declared a national epidemic among youth. 1 in 3 high schoolers vape in northeastern Minnesota.
My child started having seizures from vaping. There's still so many unknown chemicals.
1 vape cartridge has as much nicotine as at least 2 packs of cigarettes.
My child was hospitalized with severe lung injuries.
They said it was no big deal.
My child said it was no risk.
That it was under control.
That's what my child said. But what could I have said? Get the facts and talk to your child today.
Get your news on the go, the CBS 3 mobile app. Watch Anthony Matt weekdays at 6 and 10 p.m. on Live Local CBS 3 Duluth.
Temperatures in the 70s on Saturday with sunshine. Boy, what a weekend it was. But as early as Sunday, the temperatures started to drop back to normal and then cooler than normal and really cooler than normal today. A lot of towns only in the 30s closer to the lake and into the 50s inland, which is reasonably close to normal. Let's take a look at the current conditions for our area. Higher pressure brought sunshine in the morning, but that high pressure system sliding away, and a low approaching is using its vacuum effect to pull an easterly easterly wind off the lake, and that's what's really cooling things down to 37 towards Two Harbors, 34 Silver Bay, only 37 in Ashland right now, but 50 in Grand Rapids isn't so bad. 49 in Hayward, well, we'll take that because it's pretty chilly here, even over the hill where I am right now. Let's move on and take a look at what's going on current condition-wise at the airport in Duluth, because I do think these cooler than normal temperatures will be with us for the next 7 days. It's going to be a bit chilly, especially by the lake, and for tonight, tomorrow, and into Wednesday, the cloud cover is going to be thicker and rain chances will come around. Right now, it's down to 39 at the airport in Duluth. Easterly winds going 11 miles per hour. Air pressure on the high side for the time being at 1,023 millibars, 11 degrees or millibars higher than normal for now. But with a low coming, that number is going to go down for a while. And the Doppler map for our region shows the high slipping away, the sunnier sky going, and a cloudier sky coming aboard. And we're already getting rain towards Fargo and Grand Forks. 20 to 40% chance we're going to be getting that here in our neck of the woods tomorrow as the low pressure system gets closer. The first of two. The first one will come out of South Dakota, and it'll bring a 20 to 40% chance for rain. Not a great chance because that easterly wind is confounding its own parent system here. That cooler, drier air off the lake is pushing the low backwards a little bit. So by splitting the difference, we only get that 20 to 40% chance of rain. But if the rain chance doesn't pay off on Tuesday, that second low from the northwest keeps the chance going in through Wednesday before we clear up on Thursday. But I don't think we're really going to warm up much at all this week ahead. Here's the forecast for tonight in Minnesota, which is going to show low temperatures up north, perhaps dropping into the upper 20s, with the rest of the region in the low to mid 30s. Mostly cloudy sky as that low pressure system gets closer. And it'll get closer to Wisconsin and Michigan as well. So folks there get the mostly cloudy sky overnight with low temps 31 to 35 degrees. Tomorrow in Wisconsin and the UP, sky conditions will be mostly cloudy, and there will be a 30% chance for rain showers as the day goes on. Not so bad temperature-wise there, 50 to 55. But in Minnesota, it will be cooler again, especially by the lake, with 40s by the lake this time around, and temperatures getting into the 50s for the inland areas. 40% chance for the rain showers for Tuesday for Minnesota. And eyeing up the forecast for the next 7 days, it's a 30% chance region-wide on Wednesday with partial sunshine returning and 50s returning, at least briefly, because we'll be going back and forth between upper 40s, lower 50s pretty much for the rest of the week, Anthony and Kristen. And rain chances will be with us Tuesday, Wednesday, and next Saturday. Otherwise, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, Monday should be dry, if not blazingly warm.
Hey, you know what? We had beautiful weather this weekend. We can handle a little bit of a cool down this week. Thanks, Dave.
Another big year for tourism in Wisconsin is capping off a decade of growth. Wisconsin officials say visitors spent $13.7 billion last year. That's up more than 2.5% from 2018. Most of that money was spent on lodging and food.
A one-of-a-kind fire truck in Minnesota has arrived in Duluth. The Duluth Fire Department welcomed One Tower, their newest rig. At 100 feet tall, it has the tallest tower of any truck in the state. An engine compartment fire on their previous One Tower totaled the truck a couple of years ago. Since then, Duluth Fire has been using a 26-year-old ladder truck that has been in and out of service due to maintenance needs. The department says it's a much more efficient truck, which can respond to calls more quickly.
Unique to this one, it has a mid-mount ladder on it, what offers us some unique capability in the fact that we can drive up to say a fire and operate more efficiently in a timelier manner. It sets up much faster. It also has a much larger motor, so we're able to climb the hills faster.
The new rig is not yet in service. The firefighters will go through training on May 12th. They hope to have it in service by the end of the month.
The Minnesota National Guard will show a special sign of support to those on the front lines of the COVID-19 pandemic. This Wednesday, units from the Minnesota Air National Guard will take part in a statewide flyover. They hope to show solidarity and support to first responders who have stepped up during the pandemic. F-16s from the Duluth-based 148th Fighter Wing will be among those jets participating.
Glensheen called on the community to get creative during this pandemic, and boy, did you deliver. Glensheen launched its Build a Glensheen contest last week. People were challenged to build a model of Glensheen with whatever materials they have at home. Here's a look at just a handful of the submissions they've seen so far. You still have time to play along. The contest deadline is at midnight. Glensheen plans to announce the winner on Wednesday. That person will get a special free Glensheen tour and a stay at the inn on Lake Superior. Kelly's up next with sports. Stay with us.
The 2020 Yamaha XTR editions at RJ Sport and Cycle.
CBS3 live cams are brought to you by Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac. You're not just getting a car, you're getting Kohler.
Take spring by the horns. Unleash Toro power on your yard during Toro Days, April 29th through May 13th. Get up to $200 off select My Ride zero-turn mowers. Get $100 off Time Master 30-inch wide lawn mowers. And get up to $60 off 60-volt battery mowers. Great financing offers, too. Grab spring by the horns and get the best deals of the season. Now, during Toro Days, April 29th through May 13th. Toro. Count on it.
At Super One Foods, we're always looking for new talent to join our 5-star service team. We are a growing family-owned company that provides opportunities to learn new skills and enhance your working knowledge while serving your friends and neighbors. From flexible scheduling and variety in jobs to competitive wages and exceptional benefits, Super One Foods offers an excellent environment to grow both personally and professionally and can provide you with the foundation for career advancement in the communities we serve. Come join our team, Super One Foods. Jobs right in your neighborhood.
Did you know Hibbing Community College automotive technician students receive a deeply discounted rate on professional tools and learn in a hands-on environment?
Did you know that you could earn a degree as a heating and cooling technician in just under 10 months?
Did you know that Hibbing Community College's medical laboratory technician program is nationally accredited, offering both an on-campus option as well as an online option for students outside the local radius? Now that you know, schedule a visit or apply online at hibbing.edu.
Breaking stories that impact the Northland most. Turn to CBS3.
Catch Eye on Parenting every Thursday at 6 with me, Leanne Valdez, on CBS3.
Find your favorite CW shows on the Duluth CW, cable, satellite, over the air, and streaming on KDLH Duluth.
We want to say thank you.
Thank you.
To the first responders.
Thank you.
To the truck drivers.
And delivery people. Thank you.
Thank you. To the doctors,
the nurses, and all the hospital workers.
The grocery store workers.
The janitors.
And sanitation workers.
Show them kindness, patience, and gratitude.
They are the real heroes.
Thank you for all of your bravery and hard work.
Thank you all.
Powerful change occurs when people unite. We unite people to activate positive change, to make lives better. Help us fight for what's right for all: basic needs, access to health care, a good education, and financial stability. There's strength in numbers. Join us and live united. HLUnitedWay.org.
Well, during these times, I found that a lot of my non-running friends have become runners because just the idea of spending an extended amount of time outside under the sun, even if you're working out and sweating, is better than staying cooped up. And for all the running enthusiasts out there, you might want to check out the Duluth Rundown podcast. Started just about a year ago by Tony Stensland of Tony Stensland Coaching and Mike Ward of Duluth Timing and Events. The two have recorded 19 episodes together consisting of a rundown of local races and results, often accompanied by an interview with a well-known running figure. They started the podcast in order to deep dive into Duluth running history.
I listen to other running podcasts, but a lot of them tend to be kind of national. Like they want to interview like the most famous runners that they possibly can. It's like all these other guys, I want to get to know them and hear their stories and hear what they have to say, because there's a lot of cool stories just here in Duluth. So it almost kind of started with the idea of being kind of a little bit of a tribute to Duluth's running history. Because there's so many great stories. At first I thought, well, who's going to be interesting enough? And then I started to realize like everybody's got a cool story.
A Duluth-centric podcast is because Tony and I live in Duluth, so it's almost as simple as that. You know, it's just this is what we know, and both Tony and I think, have been really involved in the local community and knowing people and hearing these stories for years. And so I think it made it pretty easy to launch a podcast like this because we know the people we want to interview. We're already kind of in tune with what's going on with local races and race results and things of that nature.
For more info, you can head to our website, CBS3Duluth.com. We'll have a link to their podcast as well. The winningest coach in NFL history has passed away. Legendary football coach and Hall of Famer Don Shula has passed away at the age of 90. Longtime NFL fans may remember him for coaching the Miami Dolphins from 1970 until his retirement after the 1995 season. During that time, he guided the Dolphins to a 17-0 record during the 72 season, the only perfect season in NFL history, and 5 Super Bowl appearances, including back-to-back Super Bowl victories. His 347 wins are more than any other coach in NFL history. Now, staying with NFL news, there won't be any international games when the NFL releases its 2020 schedule later this week. The league announced today the international series, which included games in London and in Mexico City, won't happen due to the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. The NFL had originally planned to play 1 game in Mexico City and 4 in London, but instead those designated home teams will play those games back in the U.S. at their home stadiums. That means Atlanta, Arizona, Jacksonville, and Miami will pick up an additional home game during the 2020 season. The UFC returns to action this weekend from Jacksonville, Florida. UFC 249 will feature 2 title bouts and take place without fans and with only essential personnel in attendance. This is the first of 3 fight cards that will take place at the Vistar Veterans Memorial Arena in Jacksonville, along with the fight on Saturday night. The other scheduled fights are set for May 13th and 16th. And the UFC can probably expect a lot of people to watch this event because it's pretty much the only sporting event that we have right now, right, Tony and Kristen? I mean, yeah. Sports fans, if you're itching to get something, you're going to be a UFC fan this weekend. I don't know anything about UFC, but I might tune in.
What will be interesting is the no fans.
Yeah.
Because I think that might be an unfortunate precedent for the near future.
It's true.
If sports get back underway, so it'll be interesting to see how that works.
And a weird dynamic where that's a sport that heavily relies on fan interaction and people getting excited.
Yes.
So we'll see. Hopefully this isn't the long term and this is just a temporary thing for sports.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kelly. Coming up later tonight, there's a petition circulating the state asking Minnesota Governor Tim Walz to allow charter fishing businesses to operate under the stay-at-home order. Tonight at 10, we're hearing from those who operate these types of businesses to see how they've been impacted and take a look at their plans for reopening amidst the pandemic.
Well, no imaginary fire is too great for this firefighting toddler in England. 3-year-old Darcy Cook recently showed off her skills by successfully completing a fire and rescue drill in her backyard, dressed in firefighting gear. And just so you know, it runs in the family. Her dad is also a firefighter. Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 10.